My name is Jim Thomas, and welcome to the Fitness Management Update. Our topic today is keys to making an outbound call in your gym. And the people that are the best at this, the ones that we see, they're making 100 or more outbound calls a day. And we want to walk you through some of the characteristics of these calls that make these folks, so successful at this. Number one, you're honest, you're transparent, and you're straightforward. There's no beating around the bush. Let them know why you're calling, what you're trying to do, how you're trying to help them, answer their questions when they ask. Number two, be interesting and interested. Be interested in these folks. One of the key things we tell people is, what our job is to solve problems, is to provide solutions, help these people find a solution for whatever problem they have. And this rolls into number three is you want to be able to identify, problems, help solve problems for your customers. Are they trying to lose weight? They trying to get back into shape? They trying to get off medication? What is it they're trying to do? Help solve these problems. And some of this might be depending on where you're at on this call. It's what we would call, nurturing, these leads is you might provide some email coaching, with the idea you're going to follow back up at a later date. Many things of this nature, that can be done. Be logical, be structured, essentially have a script, okay? Know what you're going to say, know how you're going to say it, practice it, be prepared. Be respectful. Respect and courtesy always works. And the reason it works, it's the right thing to do, number one, but so many other folks, when they're making outbound calls, they don't do it. When they make that call, it's simply, hey, this is Jim over here at the club, got a great membership special, wanted to see if you're interested. That's neither courteous or respectful, okay? That's simply, looking to make a sale. Be enthusiastic. And what I mean by enthusiastic, I'm not talking about over the top, rah, rah. I'm talking about your passion, your belief, your conviction, should come through here. You need to be absolutely, totally sold on what you're doing. Be memorable. Give these folks, something to think about. Don't just make this the same old tired call. The best way I would maybe explain this is like when the curtain goes up at the theater. Even though maybe you've delivered those lines hundreds or thousands of times, it's your job and your responsibility to deliver those lines like it's the first time you ever did it. It's the same thing on a phone call. Entertain these folks. Have fun with this. Mr. Smith, we're going to get you in the best shape of your life. And then finally, be credible, using third-party information. In other words, or offer references, maybe pull something from Yelp, maybe provide articles and things of this nature, provide additional information that's third-party delivered, to give you credibility in that call. My name is Jim Thomas, and this has been the Fitness Management Update.